Guys, good Monday morning, and thank you for checking out your latest Indiana local video forecast update. This is Kirk Hens, BAM weather meteorologist here, recording this video just about 5:15 a.m. Eastern time, and hoping you guys enjoyed the beautiful weather this past weekend. A little bit different of a forecast here as we go into early part of the week here. We're going to have some rain showers continuing to move south to north as we're going into the morning hours, and then as we're going into Tuesday, especially Tuesday night and into Wednesday, we're going to wrap in some colder air around a low pressure system, and we're going to increase the chances here for some snow showers, especially north to the west to your location throughout the state. Now, I will also mention there is a higher bust potential from areas like Lafayette, Kokomo, Fort Wayne, Rochester, Angola, South Bend, all the way to Gary, that, we could trend a little bit heavier in the snowfall totals here. And the models are a little bit all over the place regarding, how much cold air we wrap in, how fast we wrap it in, and how quickly we change over that rain to snow here. So that is kind of an evolving forecast that I highly, highly encourage you to continue to check out every single update here. As we record this, is recorded after noon here today. Just continue to check back often because we can trend a little bit snowier than the model that I'm going to show you in the favorite solution I'm going to show you here, especially in the northern third of the state here. So no advisories, no anything going on out there. But again, if the European model, which I will show you as a solution that is totally different than anything else, is correct, we will need some winter weather advisories for the northern third of the state here. So again, there is a lot of fine tuning we're going to need to do here as we kind of move this forward. So with that being said, again, guys, I don't want to sound like a broken record here, but when you're dealing with a pattern where there's no true cold source here, there's no polar vortex influence, you're relying on the low pressure system and how quickly it can draw in cold air, and that presents a lot of risk here. So unfortunately, that's just what we kind of find ourselves into. So I think we're starting to increase from Terre Haute, Indianapolis to areas points to the east, Greensburg. We're starting to increase our rain showers here by about 7 o'clock here morning commute. And as we tack on a few more hours here, guys, as we're getting, towards the noon hour here, towards 1, 2 p.m., we're going to start to increase those rain showers here all the way up into Newton County here to Rochester, Kokomo, to Fort Wayne here, all the way to Angola here. And then just light rain showers for most of the state here as we're getting into the afternoon hours here. Again, there will be some breaks at times from like Evansville to Indianapolis here as we're getting into, the middle part of the afternoon, but I'm just not sure there's a time frame here where we're really going to see any kind of sustained breaks and some dry air here. Just on and off light rain showers as we're pretty much going throughout the entire day here today. This is as we're getting towards the sunset hour, 6 to 7 o'clock here tonight. Again, just rain showers throughout most of the state here as we kind of move this forward. Now, as I bring the simulated radar guidance here towards the midnight hour, again, we're going to have rain situated all the way from Evansville to Bloomington to Terre Haute, Indianapolis, Muncie, Fort Wayne here. A little bit of some drier time, areas north to the western part of the state, some light mist or some light drizzle above freezing drizzle here. I want to add at that. As we kind of move this forward, let me show you the temperatures here. As we go into the middle part of the day, I think we're all going to be in the low to mid 40s here. So it's definitely going to be a warmer day, a more mild day here versus, what the quote-unquote normal is for this time of the year. And as we're getting towards the midnight hour, even, guys, I even think northern third of the state, we're still in the upper 30s here. So as we're getting towards 6 to 7 o'clock here, I think that's into tomorrow morning. That's when we start to wrap in some colder air, areas like Fort Wayne to Angola to South Bend, to like Rochester here all the way to Gary. We're starting to bring in those temperatures 34, 35 degrees here. And that's where things get a little bit interesting here, guys, because as we're going into this time frame, this is as we're getting closer to that 6 to 7 o'clock notice. For most of us, for 95% of the state, we're still seeing some light rain showers and some light drizzle into this period here, 6 to 7 o'clock tomorrow morning. And then as we're getting, I would say, into like 8 o'clock and 9 o'clock and 10 o'clock tomorrow morning, I wouldn't be shocked if areas from like Gary to Michigan City to South Bend to Angola, there could be a couple snow showers working into that period, again, from about, we'll call that 7 o'clock Eastern time to 10 o'clock Eastern time tomorrow morning. The temperatures at that time frame here, again, guys, are going to be about 33 to 35 degrees. So we are anticipating those temperatures to be above freezing here. But again, I still think we can work in some snow showers here, but I think our influence on the pavement is going to be overall marginal here at best. So let me continue to take this forward. Again, I think there's going to be a point where we're still seeing, as we're getting noon to 2 p.m. here, even into 3 p.m., I think we're still seeing the northern third of the state. We're still seeing our higher chances of some more rain showers, but Evansville all the way to Indianapolis to Muncie here to Terre Haute and Lafayette, just some light drizzle, light sprinkles here. We're kind of more of a dry slot in this period here as well. Again, most of the snow still situated across, I would say, from Gary to Chicago into this period here as well, where we're still in the warm sector here, and we're still overall above freezing here. And look at these temperatures as I kind of roll this forward. Again, we're still going to probably hit the 40-degree mark for Indianapolis. 50 degrees down here across the Ohio River as we're getting into the middle part of the day on Tuesday. Northern third of the state, we're still, good 33, 34, 35 degrees here. We have not yet wrapped in the colder air. So as I take this forward, when I really think we're starting to work in that colder air and more of that transition to snow from areas like Lafayette to north of Kokomo to Fort Wayne, South Bend, all the way to Gary here, is by the time we're getting to about 5 to 7 o'clock on our Tuesday night. We're starting to see some accumulating snow work into those areas here. Let me show you those temperatures as we start to wrap in. Again, we're still at about 32, 33 degrees, but that colder air is starting to work in. We're still obviously above freezing areas down to the south here, but taking this forward here, again, that's where we're going to kind of be situated here, guys. Kokomo's right on that line, but I would be watching here as we're getting to the midnight hour and as we're getting into the overnight into Wednesday morning here. Again, I know we're stretching it far out here, but I think Lafayette, Newton County, Gary, Michigan City, South Bend here, Rochester, along and north of Fort Wayne all the way to Angola, we're still seeing that light accumulating snow starting to work in here. But as we take this model forward, it looks like, we're going to start to transition here in that colder air work in. I think there's possibility, again, this is far out and there's a lot of risk with this, guys, but as we're getting into Wednesday morning towards the daybreak hour and into even as far as to noon here on our Wednesday, again, we'll need to fine tune the timing, but we're starting to work in, a rain to snow transition, light in nature, scattered in nature, all the way from Evansville, possibility to Indianapolis, to Kokomo, to Fort Wayne, to northwestern part of the state here. Looking at these temperatures here, you can see we're starting to work out the warmer air kind of east and southeast here. We're starting to wrap in the colder air. I still think, even into Wednesday morning, we're at or above freezing for Indianapolis all the way down to Evansville, but those locations from Kokomo to Lafayette points to the north, we're in the upper 20s to lower 30s at this time frame here. And as we're going throughout the day on Wednesday, that's kind of where we're keeping those temperatures. The northern half of the state at or slightly below freezing. Indianapolis, that's going to be to Terre Haute, points down to the south, that's going to be the hardest part, as kind of fine-tuning how much and how quickly that colder air is going to work in here. But as it stands right now, I think we can be dealing with, throughout the day on Wednesday into Wednesday night, some light kind of snow showers here to some flurries on the backside of the system before it is out of here. But again, looking at those temperatures here Wednesday night into Thursday morning as it stands right now, we're all going to fall well below freezing into likely the low to mid 20s here. So again, we'll need to fine tune that refreeze risk Wednesday night into Thursday here. But guys, there's a long way to go in this system. Again, this is 2 to 3 days plus in terms of accumulation here. So this is the best that we have at this time frame here in terms of snowfall totals, through Wednesday into Thursday morning. And again, notice that overall, because those temperatures that are staying above freezing are limiting the actual accumulations on the pavement here along and south of Lafayette to Kokomo here. But most of the accumulations as it stands right now are going to be along the north of Rensselaer towards Gary, Michigan City, South Bend as it stands right now, 1 to 3 inches, maybe close to 4 inches here, Gary to Chicago here. Fort Wayne, staying along in less than that inch here, and then points down to the south, just too warm. But I will mention, guys, the European model, which is a lot weaker with the low, a lot colder with the air as it brings in, is substantially different. I have not seen such a difference in the modeling in a very long time between, most of the models look somewhat similar to this, guys, in terms of the first solution that I showed you. But the European model has been trending and inching southeast and southeast and southeast, and it's something that I don't want to totally ignore. Again, do I think this solution is correct? I don't think this solution is correct at this time frame, but if there's a risk here, guys, to the first solution that I showed you, I think it's not out of the question that some of these areas in here can trend heavier with accumulating snow, especially as we're going deeper into the day on Tuesday and into Wednesday. I'm just not confident on how much yet, and that's just me being honest with you guys. And then even more so from areas like Indianapolis, Terre Haute, Evansville, Muncie, I'm even less confident on any kind of accumulating snow in those areas because that doesn't even come until the backside of the system, Wednesday into Thursday morning here. So if there's a risk, I think the totals can climb higher, as we're going Lafayette, Fort Wayne, Rensselaer, South Bend to Gary. I'm just going to need to fine-tune as we get a little bit more data here, guys, later this afternoon, and we'll probably draw up a kind of a fresh initial idea here for you guys on that total snow. more of a custom view, but I wanted to show you just the big differences here as we go forward and the challenges that we are still dealing with, the lack of a cold source here, and that's the kind of the best that I have. And then in terms of total precipitation, this is our favorite solution. I think as it stands right now, most of us are going to be, when it's all said and done, susceptible to about a half an inch to an inch, localized higher in a couple spots. So that's all I have, guys. I really appreciate you sticking around for a longer video today. Have a wonderful and blessed Monday.